Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold! Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Savage Cut. Real talk, no filter on Savaged Unfiltered. Savaged.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to Savaged Unfiltered. I'm your host here, Savage. Guys, we have a guest that's going to be joining us here momentarily, but I want to go into a little bit about what he is about. Okay, his name is Andre Paradis. Hey, I got it right. I had to when we were talking in the green room, digital green room here through the network. I was trying to make sure I got his name correct. Because I'm known to butcher names, not on purpose, but usually on accident, because sometimes, the E is silent or the A is silent or, you know how it works. But a little bit about this gentleman, guys. He is a relationship and dating coach for successful business women. He has a website out there called projectequinox.net. We're going to get a little bit more information about his website, a little bit about his background. How he came to, get into this type of business and everything else. He's no stranger. He's been around, different types of shows, different types of programming. He has a YouTube program. I want to get into that. But without further ado, I want to bring him on. I don't want to leave him hanging. This is Andre Paradis. How you doing, Andre? Welcome to the show.
Very good. How are you?
Good.
Los Angeles, the sun's out. It's beautiful. I'm blessed. Yeah, that's a good way to start the week.
Yeah. So I'm actually jealous. I haven't been to Los Angeles yet. I've been to just about everywhere here in the United States besides Los Angeles. Wow. But I'm here in the sunshine state of Florida. The weather's not too bad. Looks like it's going to rain in a couple hours, but hey, that's Florida for you. Let's get a little bit about you, man. You're a certified relationship coach I guess, bettering women to make them more successful in that industry, or
it's my avatar. I work in the realm of relationship. Men, women is the dance, right? But it's not it's not only straight couples, men, women. The dynamic that works in couples to build long-term relationship is the same regardless of orientation, which is interesting, very fascinating. So on that, what's happening in our culture with this pulse of equality, the belief out there that I see is that people think that men and women are the same, or they should be the same. So we have masculine women, we have feminine men. We kind of flip the script, thinking, we equalize the playing field. It's going to be better. It's going to work better. It's going to be more fair. I get it. On paper, it sounds great. But it works for business. It works for money. And in the realm of love, dynamics, it doesn't freaking work. It's a kiss of death. But everyone's blind to it. It should be better. It should be easier, right? We have all the options. We're free. We can do whatever But look what's out there. It's a disaster.
Expressions. I mean, I'm looking at the two people in front of me because now they have, she has their attention.
Yeah.
And, then she goes into saying, I have 17 items in my hand. I have to check out of here real quick because if I don't arrive at this ship real quick, they will yell at me.
What ship is she getting to? Love boat?
Where's the ship, lady? Is it in Atlanta? Is the fucking ship going to descend off the Stone Mountain State Park?
Is there a port? Is there a port in Atlanta?
Yeah. Is there a cruise ship coming through that we don't know about? Or
I've got all my personal care products. I'm a hooker on the Love Boat.
I'm telling you. And she's like, she's going from one thing to the next. Then she's like, they need these supplies. I have to get there. I can't, Bob, I'm not making this shit up. This lady was fucking out there, man. Like somewhere out there in like the fifth fucking dimension or something. So I go like this, right? After dealing with it for almost like 3 minutes, I just go like this. And I allow her to go right in front of me.
Whatever. I don't need your crazy today. I can got enough of my own.
I only went to this fucking store, Bob, because it was convenient and it was literally 2 blocks from the hotel. I mean, it was within walking distance, you know.
Well, it's also close to the cruise line, so yeah.
Apparently.
Do you copy? Do you copy?
Mayday! Mayday! Strap in!
Oh, God.
Altitude warning. Fire thrusters?
Yes, fire thrusters! Fire thrusters now! Mission control. This is Atlas Shepard. Can you hear me?
Faster, and there's a reason for this because we're going backwards with nature, and it's ultimately nature will win, right? You can go against nature all you want. Nature will win. It's going to cost you somewhere. So what comes at me all day long? By the way, this is my business. This is not a hobby. This is how I pay my mortgage, right, in my car. So,
Andre, if I may chime in, buddy, if you don't mind, you just mentioned something really interesting that nature will win. You went into, where the relationships are failing now in the 21st century compared to maybe it worked in the 20th century a little bit better, right? Or it was a little bit more comfortable, right? Why do you feel that, relationships, let's start off here and then, allow the listeners to understand, some of your practices here and how you can benefit women to make them more successful. I want to start off with the failing. Like, why do you feel that relationships are failing now more than ever?
That's not a feeling; it's what's out there. Everyone is struggling. Women,
I see it. I see it, but some listeners may not see it. Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. So, I think everybody has a sense of this. It's harder than ever, right? Nobody seems to be able to get together. They don't get together, and so again, what's happened is it's a world where we encourage women to be strong, independent, and powerful. We can encourage men to be sweet and sensitive. You know what I mean? We kind of flip the script on what I call nature. Now, it doesn't mean that men can be sensitive, that women cannot be powerful. But if you flip the script completely, that's where the problem occurs. People cannot come together. In nature, again, but this is not my opinion. I'm not a moralist, right? Like, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. This is the work. This is the data. This is the research. It's not my opinion. So,
do you think that might be due to some social media behavior, or
absolutely,
do you think that has a lot to do with it?
Yeah. So, like I said, we empowering women is great. Except what happens is, on some level, women who step into the world, be competitive, to push to make their own money, it's all great. Except it takes them away from their feminine essence. It just kind of sneaks in, right? You lean in, you compete, you fight in the world, right? You build some business. It's great. But the cost of that is your personal life with men goes to hell, because actually men who want to be father, men who are more traditional, men who want to build families, want feminine women. Now, they're not going to explain that to you. That's what they want. Do you know what I mean? So men are still very traditional in the way that men are traditional. Like the roles for men has never changed. We haven't gone through sexual revolution. This men are supposed to get their shit together, build something, be able to take care of women, right? Take care of themselves first, and be relevant in the world, be capable, and with that capability, they're capable of raising a family. And that's what most men still want. Yeah. So men's role has not changed. Men are expected to be traditional, pay for everything, take care of it. The family and the woman.
Where do you think the disconnect with the women are? Like, where do you think
savage?
Men are still somewhat traditional, right? We see the 1950s. I want to go to the 1950s with you, Andre, because you're coming up with some really good points, right? Men are still showing that 1950s, 60s, possibly 40s traditional household ways, right? Where the women are disconnecting themselves from the family or the household. Why is that?
There's a culture, right? We tell women the liberation of women, with the advance of the pill, the women's sexuality became, an open channel for women. It was freedom, but also, again, that caused a different kind of problems on the other side, right? And what happened is when women are now strong, independent, and powerful, right? So, and get this. So when men make money, right, and get their lives together and become capable and traditional, it gives them freedom to take care of women and their kids. Do you know what I mean? So when men are productive, it doesn't make them independent to life, to women. It makes them, they want people to depend on them. That gives them the ability to have people depend on them and be a man. But when women make money, they become independent. We don't need no man. Right? So this is where the formula goes awry. So the more independent women are,
so are you pretty much saying that the woman are you pretty much saying that the women are becoming more of the alphas in the relationship than the man?
Exactly what I'm saying.
She's angry, she's angry. If she's sad, she's sad. She's happy. It's sort of like just becomes their truth, who they are in this moment. There's nothing. That's just how it is. Men, because we don't function that way, will say, well, stop thinking about it. To not be able to feel what she feels is impossible, right? So whatever she's feeling, you can acknowledge her for this. So you say, I'm so sorry your mother makes you angry. I'm sorry, she said that to you. I'm sorry whatever. And when you acknowledge her feelings, in that she feels connected and seen. Like, wow, that's so sweet.
And so what happened?
Wow.
So
okay, I can see that transition. Yeah.
So men are still expected to be traditional. We raised that way. We have to get our shit together in order to be relevant. Period. Right? Like nobody's going to respect you if you're a loser living in the basement playing video games at 30 years old. Right? Like that's not sexy. You don't have any self-respect, and no one can respect you. No men, no women. Right? So that's not sexy. You have to be relevant. It's a traditional way of men having to still be. Women nowadays are trained and taught by the culture, by the feminist movement, the equality movement, do not be traditional, right? So you're better than being a housewife. You're better than being a mother. You're better than be a slave to some man who's going to hold you in the patriarchy, Okay, so now what's happening is women don't want to or straight up refuse to be traditional. And men are like, well, I'm not playing this. Right, so men are still supposed to be traditional, and women don't want to be, or we're told they're better than that. Nothing is working. So everybody's suffering, and then women say stuff like, "Where are the men? Nobody steps up." You know what I mean? Where's the guy? He needs to meet me up here. Right? That's not how it works. It's not how it works. Traditional masculine men want traditional feminine women, and we don't produce those any longer in our culture since the 60s. That's why it's pretty simple, and it's so obvious, and it's basically, by the way, it's very easy to fix because it's not about disempowering women. By the way, I'm not a pig, right? People put words in my mouth. Oh, so we should, like, this is my favorite stupid line, right? Oh, so we're supposed to like dumb it down for you guys and wiggle our asses, right? I'm like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's not what I'm saying.
Hold that thought, Andre. I have to get a sponsor in real quick, guys. You're hearing a certified relationship coach that specializes in this industry, and with making women more successful. I mean, more or less, I have talked to individuals such as Andre on the show here with couple therapy, but this is a first here for me, listening to Andre as a certified relationship coach that specializes in pretty much making women more successful. So I'm really interested in hearing more. But before I get further, guys, I do want to put this in here with one of our sponsors, guys, ExpressVPN. Thank you very much for picking up the show. Guys, scan this QR code today. If you're tired of tracking, if you're tired of pop-up ads, no worries, guys. This eliminates all that for you. With ExpressVPN, your pop-up ads are a thing of the past. You're really going to be impressed by some of their software. They don't believe in the tracking, the government tracking, and all that stuff, guys. I use ExpressVPN here on the show with my phones, my tablets, all my types of devices here. You're really going to be impressed. Thank you very much, ExpressVPN. Back to the show, guys. We have a gentleman on here by the name of Andre Paradis. He's a certified relationship coach. And we're getting into the part right now where, why is the disconnect between men and women? Andre had basically expressed that here on the show with the differences. Going back, we touched a little bit, guys, with the 40s, 50s, and 60s, with the traditional households, to where it's at now, where women are becoming more of the alpha in the relationship, and the men are pretty much, this is just my view, Andre, they're becoming sidelined. And I want to get into a little bit more about that. But what I do also want to touch on is these topics that we are discussing now here on the show that's being heavily presented all over social media. I see that conversation pop up left and right. I've been in a couple of Twitter X spaces, and the discussion has been brought up with women becoming more empowered over the man. Now, why is that, Andre? I don't know if you've seen what I just mentioned here on the show, with these discussions on social media, mainly on X and a little bit of TikTok. Why is the discussion coming up? Are men becoming more timid from the woman, or what's going on there?
Well, from what I see, again, it's a cultural pace that, if everywhere you go, toxic masculinity gets thrown in your face. Men are cheaters, men are liars. You can't trust them. Go girl, boss babe, count on yourself first because you're not safe in the world. These things are all fear-mongering that's in the system from the feminists who don't understand men at all. And they decide to make men the enemy. So the feminist movement used to be a freedom movement for women to have choices. That's not what it is any longer. It's an anti-male movement, man-hating movement. And I want to say, every woman in the world has been confused and, with men and conflicted and even hurt. I get it. But you have about 15% of the population of women who are fear-mongering everyone and scaring the life out of them. So everybody's trying to get some safety first, right? And they don't trust men. They don't. So everybody's raised to be independent and strong and have your own money, your own life, your own career, your own car. It's beautiful.
Guys have manipulated that definition and built their businesses around it. They don't have any structure to go with enforcement. You understand, right? So they've used that to the fullest degree. And now they've set their businesses up and they realize how detrimental it would be. That's why the pushback. Let's go to Hippie and then we'll go right to you, Savage.
Real quick, Marlon. Matt, please send me that link because I am blowing the FMCSA's pages up, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to unblock you. Please don't comment on my personal posts anymore. I would appreciate it, but I would like your input on my posts. I'm going to let bygones be bygones at this point.
I'll just put it up on the purple. I'll just put it up in the post for everybody.
Wow.
There you go. Building bridges. I like it. Get it, Hippie.
Oh. Wow. So, guys, what you're hearing here is a program that we're cross-screaming from Marlon's X Space, guys, which I'm going to be going on here momentarily. As you're hearing Marlon and some of the members from NOAA speaking out against this crap against American truckers. It's terrible what's going on. It really is. I mean...
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And you know what, Hippie, you couldn't be more right. And that's why, hey, we need to build other coalitions, not just truck drivers. I've been saying that for a couple months, and we're going to be working on that. Savage, man, thanks for coming into the show. How you doing? Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too, Marlon. Just letting you know, man, I decided to literally live stream this entire conversation through my network here on X. So a big shout out to what you're doing, buddy. I'm live here in my studio here, live streaming on X, and I've been hearing everything that you guys are talking about with the brokers, with, you know, the somewhat of the harassment coming towards NOAA. Guys, I want to say I'm a big supporter of what you're doing. I've been a big supporter of you now, Marlon, for quite some time here on X. And what's going on here in America is literally, utterly disgusting. With the truck drivers facing all that backlash, up in New York. I've been seeing some pictures from some friends that still live up in that way. And now these truck drivers are getting harassed, threatened, because they do not want to continually pick up loads coming to and from New York City. They're basically saying that you're starving us. You're killing us. You're making the shelves in New York City empty. Well, Marlon, if you want to agree with me or not, that's your own personal opinion. But in my personal opinion, I think that the people in New York City, the bureaucrats, those radical Democrats, have done it to themselves. Literally. They've done it to themselves. They literally turned their city into a cesspool. A cesspool amongst
savage
That itself is a masculine lifestyle, and in the building this, which seemingly seems like the right thing to do, which it is to a degree.
Real talk.
But
No
women
filter
who
on
have
savage,
the life of
unfiltered,
their dreams
savage.
do both. Right? If you're going to be a boss babe for 15, 20 years, thinking that by the time you get 35 or so, you're going to think about finding a man, a relationship, or, you know, try to start a family, for most ladies, it's too late. So women who have it all actually do some schooling and career focus first. But the next thing is to focus on finding a relationship, having a couple of kids, and then they go back to work. And in that, they have the life of love, because the love lane with the money lane. What happens in our culture, we raise money to go in the money lane first, and we'll do the love lane later. However, for most of them, that doesn't work. Too much money lane for 20 years throws them in the masculine lifestyle, masculine energy, which repels masculine men. And then they wonder why men aren't dating them. They wonder why men aren't interested in them. They think, I have everything. I'm no problem. I'm no trouble. I have my whole masculine life, right? And masculine men are looking for sweet, warm, feminine, lovely, open, vulnerable women who are agreeable, cooperative, right? Who want families and kids, but these women hardly exist. And the worst thing, I'm going to say, it is horrible, and it breaks my heart. By the way, it breaks my heart what's happening out there. It's terrible. The ladies are in pain, and the men are confused. The men are confused and lonely. But you understand that whole idea of go girl first, again, sounds good. Sounds like you should, right?
And it sounds like you're on the right track with all this, because I've been checking out your website, man. And I mean, some of the testimonies that are coming in from some of your clients that that's posted on the website, really, really good reviews. I mean, so it's working, but there's a lot of work still, Andre.
Yeah,
I think,
again,
in
it's
today's
too
society.
much. It's tilted too much on one side. What's happening? So, but the reason why I work with successful women are stuck in their masculine. They have no idea they're stuck in their masculine. They don't understand why men don't respond to them. They can't get a date. And they're still lovely and beautiful and all that crap, right? They got it all together. No one wants to date them. And if you get a date, they get ghosted. They don't understand. Their energy is whacked, right? So my work is not to undo who they are, by the way. I'm not God. It's exactly opposite of who I am. It's not about undoing your boss babeness, right? It's about calibrating it or adjusting it so we bring back your feminine side. And then in my world, the true badass is a woman who could go to work and produce like a woman can, right? And a boss babe, beautiful. But I'm going to say this, I say at the end of the day, leave your balls at work and become a woman in the world, because that's where men are. And masculine men are looking for this feminine, warmth essence. So, but these boss babes, what they do, they don't even know they're doing it. They walk around with their balls out all the time. They throw them in everybody's faces on a date, on the street, at the car wash, right? They boss babe.
And I'm sure you see that. I mean, you live in LA, so you see that every day pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. And these are all my clients, and they're lovely, right? They just don't understand where the men. How come nobody says, honey, your balls are in everybody's face? That's not what men want. The feminine men will. The feminine men will be happy for you to work 2 jobs to get a promotion.
Well, they would normally look at that as a trophy wife, or some of the older words that we used to use. Yeah,
and those guys don't want to work. They don't want to take care of women, so they're happy for you to work and take care of yourself. And actually, typically, she's paying for him, she's supporting him, right? He's on the couch smoking a joint, spooning the dog when she's working a 2 job, and he's like so proud of her, right? It's
Andre, I'm being told that the new words that you're referring to, the boss babe, There's 2 different words, folks, and this, I've learned this on social media. I guess it's like social media type of genre or terminology. They either call them simps, which would be a male sending the money to the women, or vice versa. With the women, they would be called fimps. Now, when I heard these terms, I'm like, what the hell is a damn fucking simp or a fimp? And like you know how these millennials, they're constantly. I mean, I'm not bashing millennials, but they're constantly developing the words and everything. And I'm in my mid-40s, and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that shit is, So, but
I'm pretty to all of it.
So. Yeah, so let's get a little bit more into your practice here. I want to see where your mission is on how, because again, folks, this is not going to happen overnight. Like people like Andre and countless others that are in his industry. It's going to take some time, Andre. To develop the independence on both levels. Women and men.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to take time, but what's happening now, like I said, it breaks my heart to see how confusing and hurt. I mean, even the statistic. Are you ready? So, Morgan Stanley, the investment company.
Sure.
They're counseling their customers into where to put your money in the future. So what they do is they have market research to see where the new trends are. Right? What's the new trend? What's going to be popular in 15 years? So they could tell them where to invest their money. You know what I mean? So this is like statistic, logical stuff, right? They're just market research into what is the next big trend. Where is the big money going to be? Are you ready? This is going to blow your mind. Talk about sad, right? So the statistic is in about 12 to 15 years, over 10 years, but not that far beyond that, 50% of women will be single and childless. 5-0. This is where this is all going.
Wait, hold on. Is this your prediction, or is this?
No. It's Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, not mine. I'm not making shit up.
Okay, I just want to throw that out there. You said 15 years. You're throwing out a number there, so go ahead.
So this is where this is all going. They're predicting that in about 15 years, 50% of all women will be childless and unmarried. So they're leading into guiding the investors. Are you ready? Into vineyards and pharmaceutical. Because women will be drinking wine and taking antidepressants.
Aren't they already doing that right now, though? Or
so 1 out of 4 women is on antidepressant over the age of 40 for that reason. They're depressed, they're stressed, they're lonely, right? They're not happy, they can't snap out of it. 1 out of 5 over 40 is on antidepressant. More statistic. I'm not making this up, right? And they say, but it's going to be like we're going to have half the population of women out of their on like not living outside of unhappy pretty much, and just pushing through, and just wine and antidepressant, like pharmaceutical. This is where they're saying to invest their money, because that's what's coming.
Well, what's going to happen with the men?
Well, the men are actually already in that space, and the men are like stepping out, stepping back, like, you know what I mean? Because what happened is they want men, you know, regardless what culture says or feminists say, men want family and kids. Men is still traditional, most of them. The boys, right? In my world, there's 3 types of men. There's boys, guys, men. Men and guys, who are a soft version of men, or modern version of men, want families, want children, want to build with a woman, want a relationship, want to fucking get married. Still. So within the culture, it's bullshit that men don't want to get married. It's crap. It's that you have to be a woman that I want to marry in order to want to marry you. And what's happening is men aren't finding these women because they don't want to get married. They don't want to have kids. They don't want to be in, depending on a man, or even, you know, the idea of they want to be independent. So you're going to be independent. You can't be in a relationship. So men have been, you know, men are kind of stepping backwards, stepping off, and they're lonely as hell, by the way, because they can't find women to build with. Women don't want to build with men. They don't want to be vulnerable with men. They don't want to be, you know, passive and let men lead and do what nature does. Again, it's not. I'm just saying.
No, I was going to say something here, because I'm looking at. No, I'm listening. I've been looking at your bio there, you know, on a lot of different platforms, and you know, I mean, you haven't done this, you know, forever. You know, you have dabbled in the dancing industry. That was a previous life, I guess, a career for yourself.
Yep.
And my question is, that's interesting, going from dancing, and I have to bring this up, folks, so people can understand who you truly are, you know?
Sure.
Like, you go from dancing to professional certified help towards women to make them more successful, right? As independent women.
Yep.
That's interesting.